Welcome back. Well, JM Financial India Exchange 2025 will kick off tomorrow. We're now joined by Chirag Nigadi, the MD of JM Financial, as well as JM Financial. We have with us Ankur Jhaveri, the MD and CEO. Hi, Ankur, as well as Chirag. Good to have you all on the show and wishing you all the best for the conference that kickstarts. Well, let's come across to you, Chirag, first. How are you feeling about the markets, in terms of activity? There's a lot of supply that's coming in there. There is some bit of bullish sentiment as well that's creeping in. Second half of the year could be far better in terms of earnings, in terms of the entire economic setup. Give us your initial take.
Thanks for having us. On the markets, frankly, we're pretty confident. We feel good about the markets. The outlook, like you mentioned on the earnings, is getting more positive. FY27 is likely to be a good year, as most are expecting on the earnings side. And I think the next leg of the bull run will get carried forward only with this earnings growth. So I think the visibility of this earnings growth will start driving the markets from here. We remain very positive on the markets. We believe certain spaces in the market provide good opportunities, and we're hoping that our conference helps with giving that window to the investors to come in, explore, and meet with companies up front and understand where they can find these pockets of opportunity.
Chirag, though you're sounding quite bullish and you all have been quite optimistic on the markets, and hopefully, there'll be a lot of interactions between large investors as well as the corporates out there. But one worry is the kind of supply of paper that we're seeing. Yes, the last few listings actually have done quite well. We have another one that's listed today, and it looks quite well. But what about this supply of paper? Barely earnings are over, and you have PEs, promoters coming to sell some stake, and all this talk of liquidity. Actually, that liquidity is getting absorbed in all these large trades. What do you make of that?
Yeah, no, look, the paper, I don't think it's a little unfair to just think of this as paper. I think one has to qualify this with the quality of paper as well. So good companies, strong earnings, or good visibility of earnings, platform economy companies, good managements will always have a market to come to, to go public. And I think that continues. It's not easy for everyone to come to market. The investors are being far more discerning in what they're supporting and what they're backing. And I don't think that stops in a rush. Like I said, good companies will find their investors and will continue to come to market. I'm not so worried that this supply or this whole scare of this supply is going to be the dampener on the markets. They will only come to market when the valuations are right for the public market investors. And I don't think that's a big dampener on the markets.
Speaking of a dampener, if you're feeling a little off with this 100-point slide on Nifty, let's pull up Nifty. Nifty is obviously at the morning low right now. If, traders are feeling a little bleak, you just have to glance around the region. There's a big slide underway across Asia right now. It is unraveling of the so-called AI trade. It's not any major unraveling. It's just nervousness, profit-taking, in all probability ahead of the NVIDIA numbers, which is a big event on Wednesday evening US time. So Nifty is looking the best in the region. Nikkei is down 3%. Kospi is down almost 3%. Hong Kong is down 1.5%. Mainland China is down about 0.5% as well. So, Prashant, I go back to my thought and the belief that we are the anti-AI trade, even if it is... And, there was some trickle of FPI buying in the cash market yesterday. I just want to be an optimist, and I'll leave it at that.
Absolutely, and I think we'll have to track this one. But yeah, for now, I think the market's kind of given up some of the gains, etc. Chirag and Ankur, thanks very much for joining us. Prashant here. Ankur, so talk to us a little bit about the kind of conversations you expect out of the, of course, there will be company-specific questions, etc. But overall, right, across conferences and people that we've spoken with, people are constructive, but there's no great deal of excitement about how 26 perhaps is going to be this big year or anything of that sort. Even though 25 has not been all that great, at least at an index level. And people are just waiting whether growth will pick up, earnings growth, and maybe it will. So just your thoughts, Ankur, how you think about that question. The top 2 or 3 talking points of the conference as you see it.
Yeah, Prashant. So thank you very much. I think that, if you look at the broader space, and let's understand where the markets are today, right? I feel that the markets are in a broader trend of consolidation. If you think about from September 24, what we have been seeing is a very tight range in Nifty. And at every range, we've been seeing emergence of selling and buying both by domestics and foreign institutional investors. So my sense is that, if you consider from 2010, we've had such 3 phases of consolidation. All of the phases have, after the consolidation, we've seen, a market performing at least 30 to 40% higher from where the consolidation ended. If you think about, the current phase, I feel that the narrowing of consolidation itself means that there is an opportunity. We are trading at the higher end of the band. I feel that you are right that after FY26, the FY27 guidance as well as the earning uptake could be the key trigger for the investment cycle to again kick in, which means that we may be in the next range and probably also look at, the new ranges in the Nifty, which will come by. But it's very important that FY27, we don't miss out on earnings and we see that uptick on the earnings.
And that will depend in turn on overall growth picking up, right? I mean, I think nominal growth has to pick up in that sense. Chirag, at JM, what are you most excited about in terms of stuff which will do well on an absolute basis from here on?
So Prashant, thanks. I won't go into specific stocks, but I'll tell you that we remain continuously bullish. Just the fact that we go from a 4 trillion economy to 8 trillion means that a lot of sectors will get the tailwind. And I think we are seeing this already starting to play out. You can start seeing trickles of this in consumption. We are seeing this in energy, whether renewable or transmission. You're seeing this with the growth of the data centers, the platform economy, like we call it. I think there are many, many pockets that will see the tailwinds of the kind of growth that India will see over the next 5 and 7 years. It doesn't bother us on a daily or a weekly basis how the markets are playing out. We want, most of our investors are coming into the conference trying to understand the next mega trends and look at, where they can actually invest long-term capital money that allows them to kind of get gains over sustained periods of time.
By the way, one more listing, right? In Super One, even though the market is down 120 points, PhysicsWallah has listed it with a pop of about, 34, 35%. We should have, I think we had shots coming out from there. Oof. Yeah, so there you go. That's the team at PhysicsWallah and some selfies being taken and general jubilation all around. 50% now. Wow, 50 rupees on top of the issue price. So 160 rupees on PhysicsWallah coming through. It's phenomenal.
This was one issue where the OFS portion was not large, too large. It was actually money coming into the company. The fresh issue was about 3,100 crores, and there was a smaller OFS portion. The company has been, it's still, I think, loss-making, but it's been reducing the degree of those losses. Market's given it a resounding thumbs up. Issue price was 109. The price on the ticker right now, 154. So looking very, very good with PhysicsWallah. Chirag and Ankur, great to be listening into you, and thank you for being with us this morning. Chirag, on that point of foreigners looking at something exciting in India, it's all very relative, right, when we're talking about FPI flows. Foreign investors need a reason to go away from a trade that's been working phenomenally well, very comfortably well, and that's the AI trade. Now, for whatever reason, whether it's faltering, whether there is profit taking, or you generally want to kind of, spread your eggs in other baskets as well, if that money comes to India, first of all, what's the sense? In the coming few, months, do you get a sense that we'll start getting in more sustained FPI flows? And if yes, where do you see that money going? Which parts of the market?
No, I have no doubts in my mind that the FPI flows will start coming back to India. I think they look for rate of change. They look for growth. FY26 and FY25 for India in terms of earnings growth haven't been great years. We expect FY27 to be a solid mid-double-digit kind of growth numbers. And when you deliver those kind of, or the outlook of those kind of growth numbers, there is, you will see the crowding out that investors will, whether Indian or global, will have to, they don't have a choice but to come into growth markets. And the sectors, to me, will continue to be quite a few of the ones that I've been naming, whether it's the financials, whether it is, power transmission / renewables. They will come into consumption. That, to me, will be a big theme going forward in the next 18 months. We're seeing with the GST cut and the interest rate cuts how that's beginning to trickle back in. So I think large places, I think there will be a few more IPOs that will look exciting. You all spoke about PhysicsWallah right now. What we are seeing incrementally on that side as well is that both promoters and investors are being far more sensible about the way they're pricing deals. Promoters are not worried about leaving a little more on the table just to make sure that that deals open well and that the stock opens well, and that they have what they call long-term investors sticking with them for periods of time. If you talk to the private equity guys, you'll see the kind of money that is likely to flow into India or the targets that they have for investing in India over the next 5 years. And those are just staggering numbers. I think we'll be surprised on the upside when we start seeing growth coming back in terms of how FPIs come back into India.
Certainly hope so. Chirag and Ankur, thank you very much. Have a good conference, guys. And we'll, of course, from the sidelines of the JM India conference, get more views, perspective as the conference gets underway. Thanks very much.